back in session, and there was no action needed on the executive session. Is there any further discussion on any items? Hearing none, we are hereby adjourned. Move into the Midwest City Municipal Authority agenda. We'll call this meeting to order. We do have items on this consent agenda. These items are placed on the consent agenda so the trustees of the Midwest City Municipal Authority by unanimous consent can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any one item proposed does not meet with the approval of all trustees or members of the audience wish to discuss a proposed item, that item will be removed and heard in regular order.
Move to approve the consent
Second.
agenda.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We move into the new business and public discussion. Any new business, public discussion for the trustees? Hearing none, this meeting's adjourned. We move into the Midwest City Municipal Hospital Authority agenda. Call this meeting to order. We have 3 discussion items.
First item is discussion consideration of approving the minutes of the May 9th, 2017 staff briefing and regular meeting as submitted. You need a motion to approve those?
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is discussion consideration of the Memorial Hospital Authority grant program. I think that there's some interest in the part of the council, some of the council getting together and reviewing the process that we use. We do have John Caulfield, who is the vice chairman of the hospital board of grantors here in the audience. If you have any questions of him as to how the board operates, we could certainly accommodate those questions. So.
I have a request. I'm wondering, I'd be interested too if we could set something up to have maybe a special council meeting, since we have more than the requisite number, it seems, to look at the grant process and get a little more information in it and follow up to the questions that Councilman Byrne was asking upstairs at pre-council.
A special.
That would be fine. I mean, we could have a joint meeting with both the board of grantors and the city council if you feel that would be beneficial as well.
That way, any questions that could be asked would be asked directly of them.
Right.
John, do you think the board would want to do that? Essentially, there's some questions as to the matrix we use to grant the money, and we just want to go through the process as a council to make sure that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think what we would like to be able to do, the board, under the policies and procedures, the board of grantors is to make a recommendation, kind of a annual report to the authority before the end of June 30th. And so and some of that begins and starts the process with that annual report. That also begins we set out the schedule of when we're gonna advertise and let people know when grants are gonna be, when the grant process starts and so forth. So I'd want to try to do that before June 30th so that we could get that get all that resolved ahead of time.
So I'll need that in the form of a motion.
He just said to have a joint meeting between the city council.
No, between the trustees and the board of grantors.
Memorial Hospital Authority and the board of grantors sooner than later in the month of June, preferably in the first part of the month. So there's enough time, if there is anything that needs to be changed, it gives them enough time to work through that process.
See,
And I'm going to want to second that with one caveat that there's any way that we could make that happen before June 5th for my personal sake.
Okay.
City Clerk, you got that?
Before June the fifth?
Okay, I have a motion.
Wait a minute, how about, I'm looking at June the fifth.
No, before June 5th,
That's what I'm saying.
So it'd have to be next week.
Really? It would have to be next week.
Said,
Next week. Is that gonna be enough time for you to get everyone together?
Yeah, we'll put a notice out to everybody. We'll pick a time and just let everybody know that we're gonna have a special meeting. 'Cause we've really just got probably the 30th, the 31st, and then the 1st. I really don't,
June 5th in the evening. Good.
she's gonna be preoccupied on the 5th, so.
4.
It has to
And if
be
that's
next.
not possible, then I just won't be able to participate in that. I'd like to, but if it's not possible, because there's not a lot of time between now and June 5th, since we're getting a joint meeting together,
Okay. Let's see what we can work out. So I do have a motion. Do I have a second?
I seconded with just that special request, but it doesn't have to, that special request is a request, not mandatory.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Next item.
Hey, and Sarah, just for the record, on the 30th, we have a hospital board meeting that night that we had to miss the other day, so.
Okay, next item is discussion consideration of action to reallocate assets, change fund managers, or make changes in the statement of investment policy guidelines and objectives. No action is necessary on this. We also do have 2 addendums. First item is discussion consideration of entering into and approving agreement with Cox Communications in the amount of $172,676.09 to pay for materials and labor required to bury its and Verizon's overhead lines underground in an area between Sooner Road and Crosby. And then the second item is discussion and consideration of entering into and approving an agreement with OG&E in the amount of $250,000 to pay for the materials and labor required to bury its overhead lines underground and remove the wooden poles on Southeast 15th Street between Sooner Road and Buena Vista.
Move to approve both items.
Okay, I have a
Second.
motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Moving.
They did vote 4 and 5.
Yes,
Yes.
that was 4 and
Yes.
5, yeah.
We do have we move into the new business public discussion. Anyone have anything to bring before the Board of Trustees of the Municipal Hospital Authority? Hearing none, we do have an executive session.
This is discussion, consideration of one entering into executive session as allowed under 25 OS Section 307B3 to discuss the purchase or appraisal of real property, and 2, in open session, authorizing the general manager administrator to take action as appropriate based on the discussion in executive session.
Move to go to executive session.
Second.
We could stay here if we can empty the rest of the, we'll see you.
Thank you,
John, you have to leave.
I've been thrown out of